Hi students, so today we're going to be working on citations and interpreting evidence. So for that, we're going to get into our standards and learning objectives, which we have already gone over, but just to reiterate, I have some slides that I'll show you again just so you can see them. And here we see that our standard is to cite the textual evidence that most strongly supports an analysis of what a text says explicitly, as well as draw inferences from the text. So that means that we need to be able to cite properly and be able to unpack evidence best we can. Our learning objectives, we have 3 of them, are to cite textual evidence correctly, to be able to make inferences about evidence, and to find the strongest evidence possible to support our analysis of the text. So here are a few steps that we need to be able to memorize to help us cite properly. First, you need to be able to know the author, then the title of the source, then the title of the container, other contributors, the version, number, publisher, publication date, and location. So usually we don't need every single one of these, but this is the order you would go through when citing. And you just pretty much you put in each part that you have available to you. And so here we have last name, first name, so that's the author. Title of the source, that's usually like the name of the book. So if we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird, it would be To Kill a Mockingbird. Title of container, so that's usually like if you have a website or something, it would be like New York Times. And then the publication date, which is the date that the source was released or published. So now we're gonna practice citing. So here we have Frankenstein, and we're gonna go over here to see pretty much, find the author, Mary Shelley. Then we also need to know the title of the source, which is Frankenstein, title of container, then publication date. So here we can practice. Shelley, Mary. Then we know that the title of it is Frankenstein. Then we need the title of the container, which I don't know if we have exactly, but we know that the published date is 1818. So we can do that there. But for now, we're going to leave that there until we are able to find title of container. And then now we're going to move on to interpreting text. So you see this quote here from To Kill a Mockingbird. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, till you climb into his skin and walk around in it. So what are some inferences that we can make from this text? So we can see that it is directly talking about how does it feel to be somebody else, and really it's saying that you don't know what it feels to be somebody else until you put yourself into their point of view. So pretty much we just got to write that in our own words. This text is trying to illustrate that you can't understand somebody else's point of view until you are able to put yourself in their shoes. So we can't, most of you probably have not read the book yet, so you don't know what exactly this is trying to get into. But when we interpret text, pretty much we need to look at the quote and pretty much try and interpret it and put it into our own words. And that is pretty much how you are able to interpret text. And here at the bottom you'll see I have a little bit of citation because I quoted the book, and that is a little bit of practice on 2 of our objectives for our standard.